As you can see, I am a real Mortal Kombat fan. I've been a fan since 1992. My age doesn't mean a thing. Anyway, getting to the point. NetherRealm couldn't even get the fucking Scorpion mask right. They couldn't even get this fucking mask right. How the fuck do you give this to people who are fans or whatever, and they pay for it or they pre-order or whatever, and they got like all this black area above the fuck? Let me take this shit off. I should have known the game was shit when I got that mask. Anyway, okay. I took a little bit of time to make this video because I want to make sure I got my thoughts straight before I said anything. I didn't want to leave anything out, which I might, and I'm gonna try not to. Okay, 26 years. 26 years it took for us to get this fucking shit. This trash that we got as far as the new Mortal Kombat movie. 26 fucking years. Like I said in the previous video, whenever a movie is made about something that you're passionate about, you expect the movie to be the most extravagant, perfect display of the characters involved, of the story, in the best light possible. It's natural. Logically, that's what you would think. That's what you would assume, the movie to be. So 26 years later, we get a movie that's not even really based on the lore. The movie was doomed to fail because, for one, Liu Kang was supposed to be the chosen one. So how do you base a movie on Scorpion's bloodline? I guess it could probably pass that, them making a movie based on Scorpion's bloodline. I guess it could pass because Scorpion is basically like the Wolverine of Mortal Kombat. He's the face of Mortal Kombat, even though Liu Kang is, forgive me, please, I just woke up not so long ago. He's the face of Mortal Kombat. Scorpion is, but at the same time, it's odd because Liu Kang is the chosen one, so it's like, how does that work, right? But I guess to pay homage to Scorpion and to get people to really, really tune in, because Scorpion equals even more gore and more, viciousness, I guess. Okay, fine. But 26 years, this is the fucking ideas that we see on the big screen. This is like, okay, 26 years, and not just that. We have writers who, one of them made one of the worst sequels to a movie ever, Wonder Woman 1984. I know Wonder Woman fans who were pissed at that movie. Okay? So that's just something to keep in mind. But also Greg Russo. If you ask me, I think Greg Russo should be, I'm trying to say some things that won't get me in trouble. So bear with me, please. Greg Russo, every time a Mortal Kombat fan sees him on the street, or if you see him on social media, you can kind of read my mind of what I think you should do. And I think that should happen until he apologizes publicly. I think every one of you fans, just like me, should get on every fucking person, every one of the main people that was involved with making this movie, and do what you think I want to say in this video. I think you should do that till they publicly apologize, either give you your money back, or how can I put it? I guess get your input on the sequel, and how the sequel should be. But this movie, this video has gone about 4 minutes, and so I'm gonna try to get to the point. Okay. Scorpion. Number one, they chose a fucking person. They chose no disrespect to Hiroyuki Sanada. They chose a Japanese actor who's 60 something years old to play Scorpion. Now, if Hiroyuki Sanada was younger, hell yeah, I would want him to play Scorpion. But for one, if you look at Mortal Kombat 1, the game, because that's how the movie should have been based off of. In fact, I feel like I should have directed the goddamn movie. But that's another story. If you're going to make a Mortal Kombat movie, first off, you better do it to the best of your fucking ability. Every one of your brain cells should be to the highest caliber, to the highest frequency for you to make a movie about Mortal Kombat. Because, for one, there's such thing called franchise fatigue, right? And you ever heard that expression that you don't get more than one time to make a first impression because your first impression is your most lasting impression? So if you come out and you make the movie of Mortal Kombat or anything, the very first time you do it, it got to be perfect. Because if not, then you're going to be stuck making reboots to try to cover up what the previous one was and try to erase that out of people's minds. But that's not going to happen. Because when a person sees something, they don't unsee it. So that's number one. That's the first way they fucked up in Mortal Kombat. The first movie. Now, don't get me wrong. The first movie, I liked it because at the time, it was the fucking movie. It was the actual first time Mortal Kombat was made into an actual live action movie form, you know? So of course I'm fucking excited about that. But they failed because A, they didn't have the gore in there. Two, you know, it could have been more epic, if you know what I mean. Now, don't get me wrong. The characters who they had, the actors who they had playing the characters, I think they were perfect, if you ask me. But, you know, you can't just come out and make another movie called Mortal Kombat with the same characters and do it over with the gore and everything better, because people will be like, wait, what? What the fuck was the first? You know what I mean? So you can't just do that. So you're forced to have to reboot and do it over. But now that they rebooted it, they got the movie not even feeling like Mortal Kombat. None of the stages from the first game was in the movie. Also, they got, like I said, they had this 60-something-year-old guy play Scorpion, which is doomed for failure, because it makes it doomed for failure because he could, I hate to say it, but he could die at any given moment. Not only that, he can't really move how Scorpion has to move. Not only that, what if they make sequels? He dies, then what? Now you gotta replace the person, just like how they did in Annihilation, even though the actor didn't die, but now you're forced to replace somebody. And you gotta have Scorpion in a Mortal Kombat movie. You got to. So like, what do? Also, Hiroyuki Sanada doesn't look like Scorpion in the game. I'm talking about the first game. The first game, Scorpion and Sub-Zero, even though they were played by the same person, you know, whatever. But Scorpion and Sub-Zero looked young. They looked like they were probably like 30-something, the most, right? So why not have a 30-something-year-old Japanese actor? Why not? Why? Like, I don't get these fucking people. And the reason why this happens is because, excuse me, we let it happen. We let it happen. Us as the MK fans, we allow this shit to happen. Now, maybe not you who subscribes to me or like my videos or like what I have to say or agree with me, but the other MK fans who just eat up anything that, you know, NetherRealm or Warner Brothers or whoever puts out. You know, honestly, Mortal Kombat has been shit since Mortal Kombat 4. And the reason why is because they ran out of ideas and they forced characters in the fucking story that don't make sense. You could tell there were some forced, corny-ass characters like Reiko. Where the fuck did he come from? What's the guy's name? Kai? You know, like all the whole 3D shit was bullshit. Okay? Mortal Kombat lost its steam because, first off, the story wasn't even like, it wasn't thought out. It wasn't panned out for longevity. It was an idea that they tried, they didn't think it was going to work, and it fucking exploded. So basically they started freestyling and adding forced characters and the lore. Like, you know, it's just Mortal Kombat died in Mortal Kombat 4, honestly. If you ask me, it got to the point where they killed Liu Kang and made zombie Liu Kang. Okay. And they, at one point in one of those 3D games, they gave Jax a fucking gold chain, like a rapper and shit like that, hat backwards. And not only that, they like the boss characters, you could tell they was some corny ass, you know, Ed Boon thought of, approved characters like Onaga. What kind of corny ass name, annoying name is that? And then he's supposed to be this dragon or whatever. And then you got this person called Blaze. Blaze? Really? That's the name you come up with? That's the idea you fucking come up with? Anyway, so they had to reboot it, right? So back to the movie. Like I said before, Sub-Zero kills Scorpion. Well, Bihan kills Scorpion. All right, but they have him stab him right here. Why not rip his head off? In fact, why not make the whole fucking movie violent? Like violent. They pushed this is all hype. They hyped the movie up. Oh, it's going to be R. It's even pushing NC-17 or whatever, hard R or whatever. There wasn't that much violence in the motherfucking movie. You see more violence on Facebook. There wasn't even that much gore in the movie. Not enough to make it seem like, oh my God. Because see, the way Mortal Kombat is supposed to be, if you ask me, Mortal Kombat is supposed to be always, especially in movie form, it's supposed to be made in a way where parents are upset that it's made, that's even a thing. It's supposed to be made where parents like are adamant and not letting their kids see the movie, because that's what the first game was. So if you're gonna make a movie about that game, which is responsible, the first game is responsible for the ESRB rating for video games or whatever. If you're gonna make a movie about the game, you're supposed to live up to that. You're supposed to make it that way. But moving on, the writers, the directors of this new movie, you could tell they don't give a shit about Mortal Kombat. The producers, the machine behind the movie, you could tell they don't give a shit about Mortal Kombat. You could tell they don't give a shit about the fans. The same way they didn't give a shit about MK11. And also MKX, if you ask me. But damn sure MK11. Like I said, the problem is us. We allow these people to make these games and these movies the way that they do, because we don't speak up. We don't revolt. We don't do nothing. We just allow it. And then we spend our fucking money and pre-order and go to the movie theaters or buy a subscription to an app or whatever. You know, like, we need to stop. We need to boycott these people, these companies. Enough is enough. Because it's to the point where even if they was to come out with a reboot of Mortal Kombat, people aren't going to watch it, because, like I said, it's called franchise fatigue. It gets to the point where you get tired of seeing shit done over and over again. You get tired of seeing characters. You're like, God damn it. Well, shit. How do I take this new reboot serious when the last one was shit? It becomes a joke. You get what I'm saying? So, moving on past that. So, like I said, the baby was hidden. The baby didn't cry, which doesn't make any sense. How the fuck does that make sense? All this commotion going on. Not only that, a baby girl at that. A baby girl is under the floor and it doesn't cry. Sub-Zero specifically was scouting who was the part of Hanzo's family. The movie doesn't even go in depth of why this guy who wants to kill Hanzo wants to kill him so much, or his family. It doesn't even go that much in depth. Like, you don't know why he wants to kill him. There's no symbol of a scorpion anywhere in the house or on Hanzo's clothing or nothing, right? So anyway, so we already know what happens. So they show the dragon marking on Hanzo's arm. About this whole dragon marking thing, it's interesting that they chose this, because it was very ballsy for them to even do that, because Annihilation had this whole take on the whole tattoo thing, and we already know how much of a train wreck, how much of a fucking car crash, highway crash that was, and yet still people want to see it because it's so bad, you know. But in that movie, they had the whole take on the whole tattoo, and this tattoo means this and whatever. So for them to try that was very, very ballsy. So that shows that they really had the gall, they really had the guts to disrespect the fans to do that, you know. But anyway, I guess they, in their mind, which they shouldn't have done, they shouldn't even had the opportunity to, because if Ed Boon gave a shit about Mortal Kombat, he wouldn't even permitted that to happen this way, this movie to happen this way. But it shows he doesn't give a fuck. He's all about his money or whatever the fuck. He probably just doesn't give a fuck about Mortal Kombat anymore. Like I said, even Ed Boon should be approached. I can't say anymore because legally, but you know where I'm getting at, for letting this shit happen to Mortal Kombat. But anyway, so the tattoo thing, blah, 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 that doesn't make any sense. Then you got Cole Turner. Well, Cole Turner, that was his original name. Cole Young. Like, the whole thing was, oh, who is this guy? Because first off, he wasn't in the movie. He wasn't in the game. So everybody knew this shit. And everybody was all upset about it. Me too. But I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. See where this is going. If you ask me, since they gave away basically who he really is in the movie, as far as like the story or whatever, at least he's related to Scorpion somehow. If you would have asked me what I would have done with a Cole Young, if I had the power, I wouldn't have let him get that plot armor on it. By the way, he wouldn't have had the plot armor as his special power. He wouldn't have had the Tonfas, which was another stupid. The only way I think that this whole thing would have been fixed is if somehow, check me out, let me know what you think about this. If somehow they would have had Cole Young and not fighting Goro, because I wouldn't have had him fighting Goro, but somehow in the movie later on when he's fighting somebody, or maybe when Sub-Zero's coming after him, have Cole Young turn into Scorpion. Even though it still would have been cheesy, but that would have been more enjoyable than what the fuck they put in the movie. But to have him turn into Scorpion, because that would explain why he kept getting these visions. Now, like I said, the movie basically gave it away. The trailer gave it away of what Cole Young was and all that shit, because in the trailer they showed him with the red bandages around his fist. And, whatever. And then in the movie, they showed his daughter, who I thought was who could have been easily his girlfriend or, little sister. Well, you know what I mean? Like, it didn't seem